we got some book mail. Oh my goodness. So I haven't done this in ages. I haven't done an unboxing on this page in ages, but I have been planning to do this specific unboxing for months. I kid you not. Let me give you guys a bit of backstory. But before then, I know some of you might be wondering what's with the eye patch, especially considering I didn't have the eye patch on the last video. But let me give you guys a bit of a secret. Anything in the last few weeks, if you see me without an eye patch, they were pre-recorded before my surgery because I am forward thinking and I knew that I would need to have this on for weeks after my surgery, and I just wanted to be prepared and wanted to make sure that you guys had a bit of content. So yeah, that last video was genuinely recorded in early December before I had my surgery and before I needed to have this eye patch on. But hopefully this eye patch should not be on any longer, and I'm really excited for that because it's very interesting having to wear an eye patch for so many things, but it's usually when I'm exposed to a lot of light. But let's get that out of the way. Let's get back to the topic on hand, which is this book box. Okay, so this book box was actually sent to me by Akana Phenix. Now, if you do not recognize that name, Akana Phenix is the author of The Empire Wars, which is a YA fantasy which got released last year. And the story behind the book box is so interesting, but me and my delays is why you guys are only getting this video now. So Akana Phenix is actually one of the victims of Kate Corain's book bombing scandal last year. And after finding out about it and obviously doing my research and telling you guys about it, I was set on supporting the author. So I already had the book pre-ordered, ready to go anyway. But a few months after that entire scandal, I was speaking to you guys about the author who did blackface to do some research to publish a book. You guys might have remembered that video. And after that video, I surprisingly got an email from Akana saying that she's been watching my videos and she really appreciates my takes on bookish issues. And it was so surreal, one, to find out that an author who I am very excited for her book has been watching my videos and that she actually likes my videos. It was so surreal. But then she said she would love to send me a book box and a copy of the book. And I was just like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm so excited for your book to come out. So obviously I would love to get it. I live in the UK, so she was only able to send me a digital copy. But like I said, I had already pre-ordered her book, which is why I have the physical copy. But obviously she still sent the book box and it was so sweet. Now, I think you guys know me. And you guys have heard me saying it for ages. There are so many books that I wanted to review, so many packages that I received that I wanted to review. And because of my sometimes terrible planning and just crazy brain sometimes, I delayed and delayed and delayed, and now we're like 6 months down the line and I still have not reviewed the book, a lot of books that I've read, or the book box. But I am also a very, very sentimental person, which is why I committed to not opening the box. This is still fresh. This box is actually quite light. I got it months ago, but I committed to not opening the box until I did an unboxing so you guys can receive the unboxing as fresh as possible. I know that a lot of people, they'll open the box and then they'll record after like seeing everything. Nah, you guys gonna get my real reactions, which I'm like, oh my goodness, I wonder what my reaction will be. I'm really hoping there are not any food stuff in here because like I said, it's been 6 months, those things are probably expired. I really hope that's not the case because I love when I get snacks in boxes, but I really hope they're like sweets that won't expire after 6 months, hopefully. But I'm going to do the unboxing with you guys, obviously, in real time. But I'm also going to give you guys a bit of commentary on The Empire Wars. It was one of the books that I absolutely adored reading last year. And I felt like seeing some of the reviews that I've seen for this book, it actually made me so livid because some of the reviews we'll get through as we are going through the box. But let us get straight into the unboxing, talking about this book, and obviously talking about what's in the box. So, first and foremost, a cute little card, and I thought it was so sweet. I have to say, like, I'm not being paid. Like, she didn't say make a video or anything. She just said she wanted to send a box. But honestly, one, because I am all down for supporting, one, The Empire Wars and Akana, and because I actually really, really enjoyed this book, I'm just like, there's no way I can not make a video. You know, I have to make a video because it was just so sweet. I thought it was just a kind gesture. But yeah, just to let you guys know, this is not a paid promo. It's not any of that. It's not marketing, anything. No, this is my choice and I'm super excited. So let us get straight into it. I am genuinely like hype. I know you guys can see like the hypeness of me right now. Let's get into it. So we're just going to open this up. Very terrible. Alright. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my Lanta. That is so, oh my goodness. It's upside down so that I can obviously show you guys on the screen, but oh my goodness, this is looking so cute. Okay, let's go through this one by one as we speak about the Empire Wars. Oh my gosh, let's get into it, guys. This is going to be absolutely so much fun. Okay, so obviously one of the first things in here is a poster leaflet which told us the release date. So once again, forgive me because this got released in August. Oh well. But here we are. Now, the Empire Wars, this is the first book of the Empire Wars series. Now, this is basically, if you guys haven't heard about it, it's basically an alternate world, essentially, but kind of based in our world, where in the future, basically almost the entirety of Earth is wiped out, except for a few people, and the Earth is now ruled by the Arctic, which is like a whole new nation, and they have basically subjugated all of Earth, minus a few countries that have made alliances or are really just fighting for their survival at this point. And the people in the Arctic, they're literally about eugenics, if we're being honest. They're really just about getting the perfect bloodline. You have to have 100% Arctic blood or you're impure, and they are set on really just making a pure world. And so right now, the people who they've subjugated, they've taken over quite a few lands and they've made slaves of literally almost everyone. They have one of these, they have the strongest military in the world, numbering in the millions. And the way that they do this is harsh. It is absolutely harsh. They put these soldiers through the ringer, and it's insane. Now, the premise of this book, the main lead of this book, her name is Koa. And she, sadly, is someone who is impure, and she was raised actually feral. She was raised without any parents. She was an orphan. Then she was found by someone who wasn't an Arctic individual, but he was living in the Americas, let's say what is the Americas now. And he raised him for a bit, but now she is now a slave of the Arctic. And the Arctic has this competition, let's call it, that they host every so often. And essentially, you go into an arena which changes every year. So yes, it is very Hunger Games-like. You go into an arena every year. But here's the twist. You go, you compete, they keep you in there for 7 days. Whoever is left standing at the end, you survive. But anyone who dies in the arena, you will have your entire family wiped out. So if you die with the knowledge that your entire family is about to die because you didn't make it the full 7 days. That intense. And it's absolutely insane. We're going to talk about it a bit more, but let us see a bit of what is in here. Oh my goodness, guys, it's chocolate. Now, I live in the UK, so thank goodness this isn't melted or anything. I am popping this in the fridge. I'm going to be eating it. Like I said, it's been a few months. Now, if I end up with food poisoning, I will do it happily because I am a huge fan of chocolate. I have no shame. It is from Moonstruck. I've never heard of this brand, so I don't know if it's a popular brand in America. I have no idea, but I'm excited. Oh, it says Portland, Oregon, so I'm guessing Portland, Oregon-based brand. Milk chocolate, artisan chocolate. I'm eating this. I do not care about consequences because really it is my fault for letting it go so long without eating this delicious chocolate. I just know it's going to be yummy because look at the packaging, guys. It is absolutely, oh, look at this. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm 100% eating this with no shame. I'm so sorry. No shame whatsoever. And then we have, oh, this is a cute little book. Oh, good. It's so cute. Now, if you know me, you know I'm one of those girls that has a bunch of notebooks. Some of them are written in, some of them are still empty. I use them for bullet journaling, for regular journaling. I use them for note-taking. I use them for everything. So a booklet will always be my best friend. And I actually love that they don't have white pages. I love colored pages in any book. So I'm really, really loving this. And I love the floral designs as well. Super, super cute. Oh, I absolutely love this. Okay, we're going to go back to the book. I'm going to try and do back and forth, back and forth. Now, that is one of the main characters of this book. Now, one thing that I absolutely love about this book is that it is dual perspectives. If you know me, you know that I love a book with dual perspectives because I need to see both ends of, or multiple ends of the entire story of the world. Like I need to see people from different sides of it. And that's what we get. The second point of view in this book is from Ife. And Ife, this is really interesting. She's from the Makari Empire. She's actually royalty in the Makari Empire. But the Makari Empire, they were an African empire. And they were one of the empires that were taken down. They're still kind of fighting some parts of them. But yeah, they were mainly taken down. And she was a princess, and she's married into the Arctic family, like one of the top military families in the Arctic. She has married into them. And Ife, from the beginning, I was just like, when you are first introduced to her, let me say, you're kind of just like, this is just like throwaway character that we won't have to care about. But you know, the minute a character is named in a book, we all know that that means they have some important role to play. So I was still watching with a side eye, and then later on, we get the side eye that we were hoping for. Oh my goodness, she actually became one of my favorite characters, but one of the characters who I also wanted to like sometimes, because I was actually so scared for her at times, but also frustrated with her. But I love that. I love the duality of her character, and that is me saying that is, I'm referring to multiple aspects, but you will understand it when you read the book. But Ife has married into the Arctic family, and so obviously she's seen as a traitor to her people. But Ife is someone who, don't judge a book by its cover at all. She presents herself as this bubbly, very like airheaded individual with very colorful hair, who's just all about the glitz, the glam, the cute. That's literally how she's presenting herself. But a bit of a spoiler here, so I'm going to pause so you can go away. But yeah, a bit of a spoiler. It's a facade, and she is playing this character because she is in it for the long haul. She's just like, I need to get inside and see what I can do for my people, even if they don't know that I'm doing this for them. And it's insane. Now, let's get a bit back into this. Let's see what else is in here. Ooh. Oh my gosh, guys, oh my goodness. So I've definitely given a bookshelf tour before. You guys have seen my shelves in a past video. You know that I love mugs so much. I love bookish trinkets, but one of the bookish trinkets which I love is a mug. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful, like, simple ceramic mug, and I love this. I actually love the simplicity of it. Oh goodness, I really, really do enjoy mug, because I live on tea, and I'm not British. I do live in the UK, but I'm not British. But I do love me a tea. I'm drinking multiple cups a day, so very much loving a mug. This is definitely going to go on my shelf, 100%. Anything I get from, like, bookish merch, I keep it on my shelf, even if they're meant to be in the kitchen. I do not care. But what else do we have in here? Oh my gosh. I think it's a candle. And you also saw on my shelf that I have a lot of candles because I absolutely adore oh my gosh. This is probably one of the most gorgeous candles ever. And it smells amazing. There is like this freshness. Oh, it smells like autumn. And you know what? That's apt because I did receive this box around autumn time. Oh goodness, forgive me guys, but oh wow, the container is absolutely lovely. I adore it so much. And the candle itself is gorgeous, and it smells like heaven. I wish you guys could smell it because it smells amazing. I don't know if there's a brand name on it that you guys couldn't get it. Nope. So sorry guys. Guess you guys are gonna be unfortunate. Let's get back to the book. Now, Koa is an orphan, but she was raised with other orphans as well, you know, even though she was feral, and they've all become captives of the Arctic. And so Koa knows that if she gets killed in the games, which is called the Great Hunt, then all of them are dying. Like, obviously, it's basically her found family, and she's just like, I can't have you guys die. And so she is desperate. And we start the book starts with literally like the initiation ceremony of the people who have been chosen to be in the hunt. It's literally luck of the draw, like the Hunger Games, and basically she lost out. But we start with her already having been chosen. And it's a case of she's desperate, and she's tried everything. She has tried everything, even with the risk behind going against the Empire. She's tried everything to really just avoid going into the games. It did not work. Nothing worked. She is in the games. And so the story, like at least the second half of the story, is we see her enter the games. We see everything that she has to go through. And there's so much that's going on. But like I said, one of the parts that I love about this book is the dual perspective, because we're seeing her in the games, But we see Ife outside. We see her on the rich side of things. So we see her interacting with the people of the empire. And that's why I loved it, because we get to see more so how they view everyone, more so what she's doing in the background as she's interacting with them. Now, let's go into like the good and the bad. Like, I don't want to give too much of the plot away, too much of the story away, because there are some other characters whose presence like is really integral to the story, but I feel like if I go too much into it, I will definitely end up spoiling it. So how about you guys just go and pick up the book? It is definitely worth it, especially because there are some shock factors, especially in the end. The end of the book, whoa, too many things happened. I was just like, I finished the book and I was like, Akana, my love. I actually reread the book towards the end of last year. I was just like, if you can do me a favor and somehow reverse what happened at the end of the book, like not everything, but there's something that happened that kind of like, it tore my heart out, and I don't want to tell you guys yet. You're going to experience it in real time when you read it. And if you have already read it and you experienced it, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Come in the comments and kind of just like mourn with me, because I'm definitely mourning. But a lot of comments have been circulating about this book, and a lot of them actually made me upset. Now, a lot of us have different reading tastes. We don't have to like the same books, but when you dislike a book, I need to know the reason why you dislike the book, because I need to know that they're valid, because some of the reasons that I was seeing were so invalid. So sorry they were. Now, if you dislike a book, tell me you dislike the characters, because some characters can be unlikable. Tell me you dislike the plot. Tell me you dislike the story, the pace. Tell me you dislike all of those. Tell me you dislike the themes that it addressed. And even when you're speaking about the themes, I need to know why, because that is a part of what really upset me. I saw a few comments speaking about, oh, you know, I really hated the approach that Akana took. And they were speaking about the fact that obviously this story is about a whole race, you know, rising and then committing genocide, and, you know, the erasure of a society, the erasure of a people, and, you know, the eugenics of it all, you know, the pure blood of it all. And obviously we can hear the similarities to something that has happened in real life. And a lot of people took issue with that. And this is what I don't like with a side of book talk, a side of booktube, a side of the book community. You know, we love the Hunger Games, we love Red Queen, we love when we speak about, you know, these parts of, you know, the parts of society that's evil. We love when we see it in books. But when we relate it to the real world, oh, you know what, we should keep books. No. Where do you think the Hunger Games got inspiration from? Where do you think the Red Queen got its inspiration from? A lot of people took beef with the fact that real world countries were mentioned, real world countries were involved. And I'm just like, okay, so you like to read about genocide, but the minute we actually connect it with what's happening in the real world, you wanna get upset. The comments were upsetting when it came to that, and I'm just like, honestly, you people, again, your privilege is showing, and it's really irritating. I'm so sorry. Your privilege is showing because you want anything to distance you from the fact that there is real life chaos happening in the world. Now, you don't have to comment on it, but you have to acknowledge it. Real life chaos is happening in the world, and it inspires what we read in books, and we've seen it in books all over. I see so many Hunger Games fans who love the Hunger Games, but fail to recognize the parallels with the world that we are seeing. Please don't miss me with that. Like, just literally miss me with it. But that aside, let's talk about the story. The plot itself, I really, really enjoyed the plot. And one thing I will say that I do agree with some people is that there are some moments where it does feel like we are getting info dumps, and it feels like, you know, there's exposition a bit too much. But I feel like some people were overreacting. Like, there were little moments of info dump. People are pretending as if every other page was an info dump. Absolutely not. And I understand when you have like a fantasy where like the world is so big and so extensive, you need to find a way to put in the information, which is why it didn't bother me, because I'm like, we need to find it out somehow. And this is why I didn't think it was like too much info dumping. They were spaced out. It was kind of just like, you know, we're learning about history, we're learning about Koa's past and maybe Ife's past, and then there will be like a mini info dump. But obviously sometimes it was a bit like, okay, that's a bit long, so it was an info dump. But it would be like the beginning of the book, and then like the middle of the book, and then like, you know, 3/4 in, and then like the end. There were little bits of info dumping. And obviously I know people like have issues with info dumps, but I do not think it was like too excessive. I just think there were moments of info dumping. So I will warn you about that. There are little moments of info dumping, but honestly, it does not ruin the book at all. Like I said, the plot of the book is one of the things that carries it. It is so intricate. Now, that's one of the things I also really, really love about the book. The details, and yeah, you sometimes have to take like a pause because there are details in this book. You're just like, oh my goodness, so many details. You're taking in so many people. Oh my goodness, this happened, this happened. And then you have to remember, this is a long book. Not a long book, but this is like a fantasy book with details in it. Some things will get introduced at the beginning, and then they will come together at the end or in the middle. Like, you don't get everything in the beginning because that will be an info dump. But yeah, you will get like introduced to some people and some concepts, and then you're just like, I don't get this. This doesn't make sense. Stick with it and you will get it. But before I go into a bit more, let's look at what else is in here, because we still have more things in here. Oh my goodness. To go with the teacup, a coaster. Lovely. Matches perfectly and everything. Love it. Love it. I love a nice like basket weave like coaster, or really just any type of furniture. I kind of feel like they just make a home so beautiful in their simplicity, the color scheme. I just feel like, especially that color scheme, like very like oakish colored, it goes with everything. Oh, cool. This is a pen. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's a gold pen and it has like, oh, that's so cute. Now, as a book lover, a writer, a journaler, you know we cannot get enough of pens. So obviously, I'm definitely in love with this. And I kind of just feel like it has like this kind of like regality to it. Like very, very cutesy. Very, very like, I love that. That's going to be really nice. Going on the shelf as well. Oh, cool. I think it's like a spoon for stirring my tea. Loving, loving. I love the design, you know, florals. You know what I love about like this box? Like the colors, designs, they're very light, they're very cute, very like fluffy in a sense. And then this book is so intense. I feel like that's so funny because of the contrast. But I feel like you need that contrast in life. So I think that's super, super cute. I love that. I think that that's really slick. I think that's super, super cute. Now, I think there's one more thing in here, but I'm not going to unveil it because it's kind of like a big thing. Let's go back to like my review of the book. Now, I like the pacing of the book. I like fast-paced books. I feel like most people, you guys have heard me, I like books that are fast-paced. I feel like there was a good balance of pacing here because towards the end, it got more fast-paced, and it was more fast-paced, obviously, in the arena. We can assume that. And the pace was appropriate for what we were speaking on. So when we were in the arena with Koa, obviously very, very fast-paced, everything's moving fast. And then when we were with Ife in the outside, things slowed down a bit, but things were still moving quickly in a good pace. And so I thought it was so, so appropriate. Now, in the beginning of the book, I was just like, okay, it's not slow paced, but it's not fast. So it's like right in the middle. And I think that was fair. Like, we're getting introduced to a lot of people, a lot of like world building. We're getting introduced to a lot. And so I felt like the medium, you know, pace, I thought that was really, really good because it doesn't bore us, but it doesn't have us going through things too quickly where we're ending up lost at the end. So I love that. Now, the characters, I already told you guys, I love Efe. I love Efe, especially the more we go through the book and we learn more about her and then we spend more time with her. I love her. Now, I feel like this happens in a lot of books, and I feel like there's a danger when you have multiple POVs or multiple characters in a book, and I found it with this book, but it also might just be me. I find that with this book, as with a lot of other books, the secondary characters, and I count Ife as a secondary character because this was Koa's story. I found myself more invested in her story sometimes. Like, I feel like a lot of the times I felt I was more invested in her story. But the reason why I'm just like, it might just be me, is because with a lot of books, I like political warfare, baby. I love guerrilla warfare tactics. And so I feel like when you get in the politics side, when you get into the political side of things, when you get into the politics of things, you can use the tactics more, whereas with Koa, this is straight up warfare. And yes, she can use guerrilla style warfare tactics while she's fighting for her life in the arena, but I feel like with politics, you have to be more cunning. And so we got to see more of that on the outside. And so I was definitely more invested in her. And even there were some secondary characters that I haven't mentioned, Hazen Creed, that you guys don't know of. There are some of these characters where I'm just like, I am interested in their story. They would say like a few lines, And I'm thinking to myself, dig deep into that. Dig deep into that. I want to know more. Meanwhile, I'm focusing on, oh, I want to know more of them. I want to know more of them. But Koa is the main lead. But I think it's because you're focusing on the main lead and you've made all of your characters interesting enough to grab our attention and want us to actually like connect with them. And we do, to the point that we want more of them. And I feel like, you know what? I sympathize with authors when writing books because finding the balance can be tough. So that's one thing I will say. The characters in this book, they definitely make the book you love them, and obviously you hate some of them like deeply, and some of them you suspect, some of them you're really curious about. I think that the cast of characters in this book, I thought it was great because I wanted to know everything about everyone. I wanted everyone to have a side story. I wanted to dig deep into their motives, their minds, like with their actions. I wanted more. Not to say that Koa wasn't interesting, but we were getting obviously a bunch of Koa, and it felt like I want a bit more of them because they've now been introduced and now I want to know more. And so characters were really hard for me because I was just like, I want more of you. So yeah, it was definitely hard for me, but I think that was so good that you were able to write characters that were so intriguing that I want to know about every single one of them. Not disregarding the main lead, but just the fact that every single one of them were so well written that I wanted more. So yeah, I can sympathize with definitely like authors having to find a good balance with that. So yeah, that was definitely something I will definitely say about this book, that I was just like, it was hard for me. It was definitely hard for me. Now, the story itself, I feel like a lot of people were jumping back and forth with the story in terms of like the reviews. People were saying, the story was convoluted. I was just like, I think the story was well developed. I think what the first book has done is lay the groundwork, lay the foundation for us to go into a lot of things in the second book. Because remember, it is a series. And I feel like a lot of people were missing that fact. It is a series. They're not going to reveal all the secrets and really just tell us everything in one book. They're introducing us to everything that, we're going to want to know. They're laying down the foundations. They're throwing questions at us for us to think on. And then in the second book, they're going to, well, hopefully, these questions are going to start being answered. Because, I won't lie, at the end of the book, you were just there like, okay, so this person is, okay. And then, so this happened. And then, wait, so what's going to happen now? And then actually, it was insane. It was insane. But I thought the story was so well written. I thought it was amazing. I thought like the way that the story moved, like there were high points and there were low points where, it was a bit slower. You got to kind of, to be fair, I won't lie, you didn't get too much relaxing time, but you got a bit of breathers, a bit of breathing space, but not too much. But remember, I like that because I like fast-paced books. But I really do love how we had so many mysteries introduced, a few things answered, a bunch of things unanswered. And why I like that is because with the world that has been built or that is being built, the story and the world building match well. As in, guys, we've heard that a bunch of the world is wiped out, and we've been hearing about other empires, other alliances in this world that we have yet to actually meet, we have yet to actually encounter, we have yet to actually step into. The story is introducing us to these little bits, giving us little nuggets that we can follow until we are exposed to it all. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a duology, a trilogy. I don't know how long the series is meant to be. But what this first book has done is actually excite me for the world building to expand. And I am so excited for that. Guys, I'm telling you, this book, I thought it was well written. Like I said, there were some moments of where it's like, okay, a bit too much exposition, okay, a bit of info dumps, but, I can see where it's necessary, but probably could have been spread a bit more. When it comes to the characters, I love them all, but because I love them all, I wanted them to have more time evenly, but, that wasn't done. But I thought the pacing was great. I thought the story itself is good. I thought the plot was good. Now, the dialogue at times is a bit clunky. That is something I will agree with some people. It was a bit clunky, but a bit, like literally a bit. I was just like, guys, we are literally in a dystopian world. Like some of the words that they're saying, like they're literally saying, like, come on, enough, rise. Like, please, enough. I thought like this book was really, really engaging. I thought the pace was great, and I'm so happy I got into it, and I got to the end of the book, and I was so sad because. And this is why for some series, I actually collect the books until the series ends, because I will end up like I've ended up now, which is I have a book that I really enjoyed that ended on the wildest note ever. And I don't know how long I have to wait for the second book, and I'm suffering. Part of me really wanted to kind of just like keep this book to the side until like the entire series is finished, but it sounded so interesting. And then obviously after like she sent the box and then like she sent the digital copy, I was just like, okay, let's get into it. Now I'm upset. Now I'm very upset because I have to wait. And the thing is, I'm still mourning. When you read the book, you'll understand why I'm mourning. If you've read the book, you will understand why I'm mourning. And I'm also very curious as to, so what's going to happen next. But let's get into the last object I am seeing in the box. And this is, guys. Okay, so I love me a good warm throw. Like, I think, like, a nice throw. Like, I have, like, a good collection of, like, throws in my flat. Oh, gosh. Oh, it feels so... Oh, yeah. This is quality here. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be enjoying this. Oh, it just feels... I really wish you guys could feel it. It's so comfy. It's so comfy, guys. And I love it so much. But... this is the last item in the box. Akana, once again, thank you so much. Honestly, the gesture did not go unnoticed. It wasn't missed. I am so happy I get to, like, enjoy everything in here. And I'm so grateful that you sent it. I'm even more grateful for your book because your book was so fun. Like, fun is, like, a word that I'm just like, was it fun? I had a great time, but, like, I was stressed for most of the book. And, like, a good way, but not a good way, because like I was so engaged, but I'm like, bro, I was stressed. Like every single person in this book had me on edge, and so I'm like, did I have fun or was I just fighting for my life? But I actually really had fun because I was just like, yo, like it was, oh goodness, so many things happened, and I am so ready for book 2, maybe book 3, because I feel like this world is so big, and I feel like there's so much to come. I feel like, what was set up in the first book, I'm like, okay, the story in the second book is going to be wild. But I'm like, I feel like it can't end with the second book because there's so much. I'm like, there's introductions to be made after what happened in the last book. Not just that, there's going to be like mind games being played. And also, there's a whole prisoner aspect for a certain character. A prison that's not a prison. When you read it, you're gonna get it because, how is that gonna work out? Like, you know what? Part of me was just like, you know what? Some when they first introduced it, I was like, some don't seem right. And then at the end, when I was just like, oh God, and oh God. Guys, the last part of the book is gonna blow your mind because everything was happening at once. Like, everything was happening all at once. And then you're like, which is worse? Which is worse? That's what you're thinking. Everyone right now is in crap. Everyone right now, you're not going to be having a good time in the second book. But which one of you has the worst of it right now? And that's what we don't know. Well, actually, there's a character who, good luck reading it. Trying to figure out who has it the worst and like I don't know, guys. Read it for yourself, judge it for yourself, genuinely have an open mind. It's a really, really good book. I thought it was so well told. Obviously with a bit, points for improvement, but that's every book. Very few books can be so perfect. And I'm judgy. Like, I definitely docked, I think, like, half a star because of the grief that I experienced at the end of the book. If you read the book, you probably know, like, what I'm talking about, because it's not necessarily a hoot, but it is kind of like a hoot and a not a hoot. So figure that out for yourself. But a really, really enjoyable read that I cannot wait for the sequel to come out. But yeah, guys, I know it's been a while since I've done a review, so it's been like really interesting to do that, a review and a book unboxing at the same time. So it was fun to do that. But yeah, do gear up. Commentaries are on the way. Like, you guys, the first poll that I did, I was so shocked to be outvoted because I wanted a specific topic in the topics that obviously I introduced for you guys to vote for. And that topic wasn't picked. I'm still going to do every single one of those topics because people have shown interest for obviously all of the topics. If there was something on 0, I wouldn't do it at all. But people have shown interest for all of the topics, so I'm going to find space to do all of them, but I'm going to do them in the order of your interest. So obviously, whoever has the most votes, you're going to be spoken about first, obviously, to keep it fair. But it was kind of like, that was sad to be outvoted in my own poll. But it is what it is. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the unboxing, the review, and I hope you guys go and pick up The Empire Wars by Akana Phenix and let me know what you guys think. And if you've already read it, definitely let me know what you think. Like, 100%, I want to hear your thoughts. You guys know what it is. You guys know how it is. I'm slow to respond currently because I just can't be too exposed to light and it's just a lot coming in at once. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna do my best to try and get back to you as, as soon as possible, as many of you as possible, like with my capacity. But yeah, it's always amazing. I will see you guys next time.